All right, everyone, get ready because today we're jumping into one of the most incredible action-packed adventures we've ever covered in this explainer. We're traveling way, way back in time to ancient Egypt. We're talking massive pyramids, glowing sunsets, and some seriously powerful rulers. But you know what? Our hero today isn't a king. Well, at least not yet. Our hero actually starts out as tiny as can be, placed right in the middle of literally one of the most dangerous places on planet Earth. Just look at this mighty rolling blue river. Imagine being a tiny, helpless baby just floating down this giant river in a little basket. Seriously, what would you do? We're talking about dangerous creatures, super fast currents, and tall, thick green reeds everywhere. Okay, let's dive into this epic story of survival, bravery, and absolute destiny. Section 1. The Secret River Basket, a Mother's Brave Choice. Let's get right into it. So our story kicks off with a man and a woman from the tribe of Levi. They've just had this beautiful baby boy, but there's a massive, terrifying problem. The cruel Pharaoh wants to get rid of all the Hebrew baby boys. So step 1, his incredibly brave mother hides him in absolute secret for 3 whole months. But, babies grow. And when he gets too big and way too loud to keep hidden, she comes up with this daring, secret plan. She actually builds a basket out of papyrus plants and then coats it with sticky clay and thick, dark tar to make it completely waterproof. Finally, she gently places him right among the reeds on the riverbank. Guys, this is the ultimate example of courageous faith. His mother acted so bravely because she trusted God way more than she feared the mighty Pharaoh. But wait, what in the world is going to happen to this tiny baby rocking out there in those dangerous river waves? Now, what's really interesting here is that he isn't entirely alone. His big sister, Miriam, is actually hiding just out of sight. She's watching carefully from a distance, her heart pounding, just waiting to see exactly what happens to her little brother. Then, suddenly, someone arrives at the river, and it's not just anyone, it's the daughter of Pharaoh himself. She comes down to bathe, and her maids spot this mysterious basket floating in the reeds. She opens it up, and inside is a crying baby boy. Her heart completely melts. She says, "This must be one of the Hebrews' children." And this proves an absolutely amazing lesson. God uses unexpected means. He takes the dangerous Nile River, a place that was literally meant for destruction, and miraculously turns it into a place of absolute safety. And he uses the Pharaoh's very own daughter to rescue the baby. I mean, no way, right? But hold on, because it gets even better. The baby's sister, Miriam, pops right out of her hiding spot with a brilliantly clever plan. She runs right up to the royal princess and asks, "Would you like me to go find a Hebrew woman to nurse the baby for you?" The princess says yes. So who does Miriam run and get? The baby's own mother. The princess literally pays the mother to take care of her very own child. How amazing is that twist? After the child grows a bit, his mother brings him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who begins to raise him as her very own royal son, and she gives him a very special name, Moses, or Moshe. She explains why, saying, "Because I pulled him out of the water." So the crucial point is, look at God's perfect timing and divine providence here. Moses is saved, he's given a royal name, and he gets to grow up completely safe, right inside the powerful palace of the Pharaoh. Section 2. An Egyptian Prince. Growing up in the palace. Let's move forward and see how this builds. We zoom straight from a tiny, helpless baby floating in the reeds to a fully grown man visiting his kinsman. And it's all leading up to a wild, heart-pounding escape straight into the desert. The action is really about to pick up. On one side, Moses has the palace. We're talking total comfort, unbelievable wealth, and massive power. But outside those thick walls, his people, the Hebrews, are facing a harsh, terrible reality. They're forced into hard labor, struggling, sweating, and groaning under the scorching sun. When grown-up Moses goes out to visit his people, his heart just breaks. He sees an Egyptian striking one of his Hebrew kinsmen, and he realizes he has to do something. Section 3. Escape to the desert. A hero on the run. So Moses looks this way and that. Seeing no one around, he leaps into action, defeats the cruel Egyptian, and hides his body right in the glowing orange desert sand. But the very next day, he tries to stop 2 Hebrews from fighting, and one of them yells, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Are you going to kill me too?" Moses realizes his secret is out, and when Pharaoh hears about it, he is absolutely furious and tries to have Moses put to death. Moses runs for his life. He flees as fast as he can to the faraway land of Midian, and this introduces a massive theme for our story. preparation in the wilderness. Moses has to leave literally everything he ever knew far behind. Section 4, Hero at the Well, Defending the Weak. Let's shift our scene to a beautiful golden desert well where our hero is about to leap into action once again. Suddenly, exactly 7 daughters of the priest of Midian, a man named Revuel, come to the well to draw water for their father's thirsty sheep. They fill the heavy troughs, working so hard. But then, this group of mean, rowdy shepherds show up and forcefully try to drive the girls away. But Moses springs into action. He fearlessly stands up against the bullies, defends all 7 daughters, and then he personally draws water for their huge flock of sheep. When the girls go home early, they tell their father an Egyptian rescued them. Reuel says, well, where is he? Invite him for a grand feast. And this brilliantly illustrates the true character of Moses. Even when he's running for his life with no home and no army, he's fearlessly standing up for what is right, exactly like a true action hero. Moses' life has totally flipped upside down. I mean, he went from life in Egypt with its grand palaces, golden chariots, and living as a mighty prince, to life in Midian, surrounded by simple tents, fluffy sheep, and living as a humble shepherd. But you know what? This isn't a punishment. This is training. God is using this quiet time in the wilderness to prepare him for the greatest rescue mission in human history. He had to learn how to be a servant before he could be a leader. And Moses actually finds happiness in Midian. He agrees to stay with Reuel, who gives him his daughter Zipporah in marriage. They have a baby boy, and Moses names him Gershom, which means foreigner there, because Moses realizes, I have been a foreigner in a foreign land. He's safe, he has a family, but deep down, he hasn't forgotten where he really came from. Section 5, God hears and remembers. The stage is set. Now, while Moses is far away in the desert, many long years pass by. Back in Egypt, the king dies, but the Israelites are still groaning under the terrible yoke of slavery. They cry out for rescue. And this brings us to the most incredible lessons of our story today. Divine providence and timing. Even when God seems silent, he's actively setting the stage. Courageous faith from Moses' incredible mother and sister. God uses unexpected means, turning the dangerous Nile into a safe haven. Preparation in the wilderness, turning an Egyptian prince into a humble servant. And finally, the absolute most important one, God sees and hears. The loud cries of the suffering reach up to God. He hears their groaning. He remembers his promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and God acts on behalf of his people. He's getting ready to move. Which leads us to a massive cliffhanger. How will God use Moses to save his people? He's a humble shepherd in the desert now, but his people desperately need a deliverer. To find out exactly what happens next in this incredible adventure, click the bell button, like, share, and subscribe.